Caiaphas was a significant figure in the biblical accounts of the life and ministry of Jesus Christ, particularly in the events leading up to Jesus' trial and execution. According to Jehovah's Witnesses and information available on jw.org, Caiaphas served as the Jewish high priest during a critical period in Jewish history. From around 18 to 36 CE, his role and actions are crucial in understanding the fulfillment of biblical prophecies and the dynamics between the Jewish religious authorities and Jesus. Position and authority. As the high priest, Caiaphas held the most influential religious position among the Jews. The high priest was responsible for officiating at the temple in Jerusalem, especially during significant festivals like Passover. He was also the president of the Sanhedrin, the highest Jewish council and court. This council dealt with religious and legal matters, and its decisions greatly impacted Jewish society. Relationship with Roman authorities. Caiaphas was appointed by the Roman procurator Valerius Gratus, predecessor to Pontius Pilate. His long tenure as high priest suggests he had a cooperative relationship with the Roman authorities. This relationship was likely based on mutual interests, maintaining peace and order in a region known for unrest. Caiaphas and other Jewish leaders were concerned about any movements that might provoke Roman intervention, which could threaten their positions and the relative autonomy they enjoyed. Involvement in Jesus' trial. Caiaphas is perhaps most notably recognized for his pivotal role in the trial and condemnation of Jesus Christ. The Gospels recount that Caiaphas and other religious leaders saw Jesus as a threat to their authority and the established religious order. They were particularly disturbed by Jesus' growing popularity among the people, his criticisms of the religious leaders, and his claims of being the Son of God. In the Gospel of John, 11:49-53, Caiaphas is noted for his statement regarding Jesus. "You do not reason out that it is to your advantage for one man to die in behalf of the people rather than for the whole nation to be destroyed." This statement reflected his belief that Jesus' death would prevent potential Roman crackdowns on the Jewish nation due to possible uprisings. The illegal trial. According to Jehovah's Witnesses' understanding of the Scriptures, the trial of Jesus before the Sanhedrin, presided over by Caiaphas, was fraught with illegalities according to Jewish law. Trials were not to be held at night or during festivals, yet Jesus was arrested at night during Passover. False witnesses were brought forward, and there was a rush to judgment without proper deliberation. Caiaphas directly questioned Jesus, asking if he was the Christ, the Son of God. Upon Jesus affirming this, Caiaphas accused him of blasphemy, which under Jewish law was a capital offense. However, since the Jews under Roman rule did not have the authority to execute, Caiaphas and the Sanhedrin handed Jesus over to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, accusing Jesus of claiming to be a king and thus a threat to Roman authority. Fulfillment of prophecy. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that the actions of Caiaphas and the Sanhedrin fulfilled prophecies about the Messiah's rejection by the Jewish leaders. Isaiah chapter 53 describes the suffering servant who would be despised and rejected, bearing the sins of many. Caiaphas' role in condemning Jesus is seen as a direct fulfillment of these prophetic words. Archaeological findings. In the realm of archaeology, there was a significant discovery related to Caiaphas. In 1990, an ossuary, a bone box, was found in Jerusalem bearing the inscription, "Joseph son of Caiaphas," which many scholars believe belonged to the high priest Caiaphas. This finding provides historical corroboration of his existence and his prominence in society, aligning with the biblical accounts. Lessons and reflections. From the perspective of Jehovah's Witnesses, Caiaphas serves as an example of how pride, fear of losing power, and refusal to accept God's messengers can lead to grave errors. His actions highlight the dangers of valuing political stability and personal position over truth and righteousness. Caiaphas' collaboration with the Roman authorities also demonstrates the complexities of political and religious power during that era. His fear that Jesus' movement could incite Roman retaliation reflects a lack of faith in Jehovah's protection and an over-reliance on human schemes. Contrast with Jesus. While Caiaphas sought to preserve his position and the status quo, Jesus remained steadfast in his mission, even in the face of death. This contrast underscores the themes of integrity, sacrifice, and obedience to God's will, which are central to Jehovah's Witnesses' beliefs. Aftermath and historical impact. Following the events of Jesus' death and resurrection, the early Christian congregation began to grow, something Caiaphas and the other religious leaders had aimed to prevent. In the book of Acts, it's noted that Caiaphas continued to oppose the apostles, further demonstrating his resistance to the unfolding of God's purpose. Conclusion. Caiaphas is a complex figure whose actions had a profound impact on the course of biblical history. According to Jehovah's Witnesses and the insights provided on jw.org, understanding Caiaphas' role helps believers appreciate the fulfillment of prophecy and the steadfastness required to uphold divine principles in the face of opposition. His life serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of prioritizing personal ambition over spiritual truth, reminding individuals to remain vigilant in their devotion to God's will. Please like and subscribe.